Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Nick Armenis, your friendly Google Ads guy, specializing in e-commerce for the most part. Today, I wanted to do a bit of a different video. Something I don't do a lot of is just some general business ideas, tips. And for those of you that are wanting to transition away from a 9-to-5 job, I just want to put my viewpoint out there as to how I did it. I have worked for myself now for almost 5 years. I did transition basically from a part-time online business into a full-time role. I took that jump. So I'll take you a little bit through my journey and just if it can help you in some way to, I guess, if you're wanting to do the same thing, just to take a different viewpoint. I know a lot of people talk about it, put their viewpoints out there, and sometimes I just find them to be a little bit unrealistic, or there's definitely not a one-size-fits-all. So I'm going to take you through my, experience of it, and then you can kind of take that on board, listen to other people, and just decide for yourself what's right for you personally. So getting into it, how did I transition away? I guess initially I think we enter what's called the research phase. So a lot of you probably are either studying or have a part-time or full-time job. This could range from anything from a not very good job to an amazing job. So I would have what I would consider, I personally had a very good job and I still managed to transition away. I find that the better the job, the harder this transition actually is, because what a lot of people want to do, and quite rightly so, is to basically make sure that they replace their income before they leave. This can be really hard if you're earning like a really good 6-figure plus year job. If you're doing that, it's going to be really hard to, at least most of the time, replace that income. And if you've got a family, you have kids, a wife, whatever it might be, a partner, it doesn't matter. It makes it, the more of these things you have, a mortgage is another one, and the more of these things you have, the harder it becomes to transition away. And so depending on your risk tolerance, all of these factors will affect how you transition. So initially, you're going to probably enter what I call the research phase, where you're taking information in, you're looking on YouTube, you're probably doing courses, masterminds, whatever it might be. You're getting an idea as to what's out there, what's available. As you do this, you'll develop a sense of what do you like, what you don't like. My suggestion in this phase is to focus on the things, one, that you like, and two, that complement what you're already doing. For example, if you're doing something particular, a really easy way to start an online business is to teach people online what you do. So that could be anything. That could be, you might be a painter, you might be a landscaper, you might mow lawns, whatever it is, you can start putting content out on that topic, particularly if you're an expert in it or have been doing it a long time. And as you do that, you'll learn a lot of the skills necessary to do well in today's online space. So no matter what you do, you most of the time will need some form of content. This is true for e-commerce, marketing agencies, courses, whatever it is you want to do, you're going to need to put content out there more than likely, or it is a very good way to get started. So research phase, focus on your strengths or what you're good at or what you're already doing and leverage that. And what I mean by leverage it could be leveraging your experience and then also leveraging your connections. So if you work for a company and you're doing something there and you know people in the industry, make sure you're leveraging those connections, talking to as many people as possible. But in this phase, you're really working out what are you good at, what are people actually wanting, because if you don't offer something that people want, you're going to find it very, very hard to make money. In this phase, how I would have done it differently personally, and when I was in this phase, I really focused on e-commerce, marketing, shares, investing. That would probably be the areas that I mainly got into, and that meant anything from affiliate marketing, Amazon, Shopify, dropship, all those things I tried at some point. So you'll find you probably try a lot of these things in this phase to work out what you're good at, what sticks, right? My suggestion is try a lot of things, but try them well. So what I mean try them well is actually give them a proper chance and time to do well. If you don't, then it's going to be really hard to get a gauge as to whether or not it's something for you, right? So as you get more deeper and deeper into these different areas of discovery and testing and trying. So discovery is the first, and I guess the second is testing and trying. So discovery is we just want to know what's out there, what's available, and testing and trying is where we actually go, okay, I like these things, I like the idea, I'm going to try them. I'm not going to invest too much money, but I'm going to try them. So my suggestion is focus on things that don't need a lot of time investment. So what I mean by that is leverage activities where you can get paid quite well for a minimal amount of time. And the way to do that is to focus on things that people highly value, or big problems, or that you can provide a big solution to, or even just a portion of that solution. And from there, things that will make people a lot of money. So in my agency, the way I operate on a lot of things is I work on a percent of sales, percent of profits, things like that, because I can leverage time much better doing that, because I don't need much in the way of any staff or tools or premises. I work from home. And I'm able to generate a lot of money for people, and then I get a small percentage of that. And the reason people are more than happy to stay around and do that is I'm making them a lot of money. It is a big problem because all online businesses want more sales. Without online sales and advertising, they just do not exist. That's why that is a great solution to a big problem. Now, is it the best business model long term? Probably not, because at the end of the day, these clients could leave, could get someone else. They don't really need me other than my results. So as long as I'm getting the results, it's unlikely that they'll go somewhere. But in reality, you are building someone else's business for the most part. So it's a good cash flow business, and that's probably once you start testing and trying and working out what sticks. And then the next phase will be sticking to it, is how can I leverage the absolute maximum out of this opportunity? So the way we do that is we test, we try, and then we keep reiterating what we're doing. We change the offer, we change the pricing, and we keep building on that. Now, all of this is being done, these phases, while you're still working, while you're still studying. Do not leave whatever you're doing, particularly if you need the money, until you probably, I would say, at least replace, a third to half of your income, or at the very least, you're going to cover the bulk of your expenses for several months, ideally 6 months, I would say, and even better, a year. Now, in that phase, you can try and reduce your lifestyle as well, so cut out expenses. I personally don't like doing that anymore. I prefer to make more money to build into what lifestyle I want, because it's much easier, I find, at least once you start getting and making and hitting some runs, it's quite easy to keep re-leveraging whatever you're doing. So after this, focus on re-leveraging whatever you're doing after this phase. And once you've kind of hit the nail on the head and you're doing well in all of these sections, don't be scared actually to jump back and forward and go to different ones. You might go, hey, I can use a bit of this, a bit of my experience in e-commerce and marketing, and boom, I've got an e-commerce marketing agency. Or I'm going to help e-commerce owners with one particular portion of their business, which I learned from these two, and you can mesh them together. So once you've done all this and you're starting to feel a bit more comfortable, you could probably start transitioning away from your full-time, if you're full-time, to maybe a part-time role, or a few days a week, or something like that. Go and talk to your boss, or go and talk to your lecturers, whoever it is, whatever it is you're doing, and get them to understand, hey, this is what I'm doing. Well, most of the time, people are actually super, super supportive. It's very unlikely that they'll be negative. Most of the time, the people that are negative end up being people that are close to you, that you wouldn't expect, that end up getting jealous, and it's going to come with it. Just expect that. Expect that people will change around you, and the more money and the better off and better you do in your business, the more this will happen. So as we transition away, we're building that cash flow, we're building up our savings, and then what we're going to do after that is, once we get our business going along, what most of the time will happen is you'll have a cash flow generating business like an agency or whatever it might be, and then you'll need to start investing. And that might mean, hey, I've got an agency, I'm going to start e-commerce stores, put some of the money here to here, or I might invest in property, or I might invest in stocks or crypto, or whatever it is you do. that's the transition. That's kind of the pathway to leaving that 9 to 5. Once you start that ball rolling, you're getting those runs, you're getting consistent business, you're getting lead flow or sales flow, or whatever it is you're doing, it's sticking, it's feeling good. At any point, even once you've gotten those expenses covered and all that, you can start leaving, but this is the point where it's safest. Anywhere behind that is less safe. The way I did it was part-time. I was doing something on the side after work. I was still working full-time, and then I quit the full-time job. That was my path. I had an online store, it was doing really, really well. And as I did that, that's when I started to get clients as well. They're like, hey, I'm seeing what you're doing. Can you do this for me? And I was like, okay, this is actually a super good cash flow generating business where I'm able to generate a lot of cash flow really quickly and then reinvest it. And my passion is more on the investing front. So I own property, I own stocks, I own funds, all these things, and some crypto. And that's kind of where my passion lies. Now, I've been out of my own e-commerce stores for a while now. I've also obviously had courses, digital products, try to learn. They're not my favorite thing to do, to be honest. And so now I'm kind of thinking, do I now go back and start stores again and start a proper brand and build out that as an asset? So that's kind of where I'm at the moment. My transition away was I had like $70,000 or $80,000 saved up. I had a very good 130 plus, can't remember, $150,000 a year job. It was a very high paying job. Might have even been 160 now, I can't remember. Plus all these benefits and bonuses and this and that. And I left that with my $80,000. I had a mortgage. I was pretty young at the time. I was 26, 27. Obviously a lot of you are younger than that now listening to this. And my house I'd done really well with, so I wasn't worried about that, but there was still a bit of fear there. Don't expect there to be no fear. If there's no fear, then you're probably not making that big of a decision, in which case there's not going to be huge reward. So most of the time when there's a big fear, you don't feel comfortable, there's reward at the end of that tunnel. And yeah, do this your own way. Don't listen necessarily to me only and just copy what I'm saying or someone else. Everyone's situation is going to be unique and different, and that's how I did it. That's what I would do. Slowly go through discovery, testing, implementing, improving, and then once you're in that phase, you can leave and then you can focus on scaling, improving, automation, and adding processes and things like that over time. So that's my story. That's how I would do it. Please let me know in the comments below what stage you're in or how you did it. I'm really interested to know, and I'll see you in the next video.